Hey, we're recording the podcast. You know this guy has 3 of your shoes on his personal favorites? What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the biggest complex sneaker show. First off, to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
Feels like a while since we've actually been in the seats, because the last episode we did was the one from the stage at ComplexCon.
No, we did an episode after that.
Yes, we did.
We did, I promise you, because we recapped everything that happened at ComplexCon.
Yes, we did.
Oh.
Wow, he's a little shaky, but
I know the feeling.
Sorry, but that one came out. I'm like, my
It's
brain's
okay.
all...
I know the feeling.
That one came out before the one from at
I
ComplexCon.
relate
right.
to you because we need more episodes. We're going to have more episodes
my
next
left.
year. Promise that.
to my
Promise
left,
that. What
look,
up?
I'm doing the NWO point. Remember
I
that?
thought you were going DBZ.
NWO.
I thought this was an anime thing.
Are you black,
I thought you were in your
black and
anime
white
bag.
or Wolfpack?
Right now, black and white.
Are you
NWO.
Goku,
NWO.
Vegeta?
Mr. Brendan Dunne.
Could have
We're
the
here.
Widow's Peak looking like Vegeta. What's up?
Our last episode of the year, we're going to get to a lot of stuff. What do we got?
Our personal picks for Sneaker of the Year, some Sneaker of the Year list recap. Also, some recap. I was at physical, real life, in-person sneaker events.
Yes.
Corteiz release, the Stash release.
Talk about why the Legend Blue 11s sat on shelves, and if the Gamma Blue 11s are actually a good shoe or not.
And there might be some slight differences from the ComplexCon Sneaker of the Year panel to our actual Sneaker of the Year list. We're going to get into all that and more. How we doing?
I feel great.
I feel good,
I was
too.
working
I
all
feel
weekend,
great.
but it feels good. You know what?
So was I, but
I know you were.
That's okay.
I know you were.
I look a little tan because I was in Miami for 7 days. I got caught up. I was
You
at
look
Art
a little
Basel.
tan because your family hails from the Sicily region of Italy.
Talk about it.
That's why
talk
you're so
about it.
swarthy.
Calabrese, too. Northern
Are
and
you a
Southern.
kid of immigrant? Or wait, a bit back.
Okay.
A bit back.
Okay. No. Italian American. Let's slow down. You were on a roll, and then let's just keep it honest. Let's keep it honest.
I was on a roll. I was trying to butter you up. Hey, where were you? You were in Miami?
Yeah, I was in Miami for Art Basel with Kith, and then I stayed to shoot Offset. Tell them I'm the one. Remember Offset, the infamous Offset tweet from sneaker shopping years ago. I wanted to put it on merch. Tell them I'm the one.
I thought that was Justin Bieber.
No. Tell them I'm the one after he broke the record, which now has been broken up a bunch. But
the high record for spending money on sneaker shopping.
Yeah, I really like that episode. One of the last of the year. And
no records broken this time, but you know what? Gave away a bunch of
rookie
sneakers
mistake.
for charity.
Yes, Gwinnett County.
Did it for the community.
Gwinnett County foster families, over 81 pairs. Shouts to Offset.
I thought you would have been in Brooklyn this weekend.
I was in Brooklyn this weekend.
Because
we were everywhere.
I was not.
You weren't outside?
No, I was out. I was kind of outside.
I was outside.
I got the.
That's the JLP. Got like the courier service. He pays some kid to wait out to run the.
Oh, because he has the Corteiz Nike Air Trainer Huaraches on feet.
I picked these up in Brooklyn in a little secret meeting last night at 9:45. I texted my boy. I was outside, outside, and I got these. Shouts to Corteiz.
The black trainer Huaraches.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I'm always gonna leave this on.
The plastic on.
Yeah, with the plastic. And
I don't know about that.
Our guy Jamal said, "Oh, you're wearing them in the rain?" Yeah, I am. I am. It's raining today. The pony hair, that's okay. He was outside though.
Oh boy, what a mission it was.
Let's talk about. Should we start there?
Yeah. Okay. So this could be as long of a story as we really want, but I'm not going to give every single detail. But the Corteiz release was happening in New York City last week. Yeah, they posted a teaser showing somebody walking up to a kiosk and grabbing a water bottle or something that showed the shoes, and it said nothing about where this location was.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't know where the shoes were going to drop. And then Corteiz also posted an announcement saying at 10 a.m. on Saturday, we're going to tell you where these newsstands are with these faux Corteiz newspapers, and the newspapers will have coordinates telling you where to go to buy the shoes. You need the newspaper to buy the shoes. Awesome rollout. I love the way that they create a sense of community and culture by having people go through quests for the footwear. So we didn't have any advanced knowledge of where this was going to be, but I was texting a friend. We're not gonna mention his name, and he said in his words he went full Rain Man to figure it out. This is a kid who grew up in New York City, is obsessed with graffiti, has spent a long time analyzing walls and sidewalks and things like that. So he saw the teaser video from Corteiz, and he saw a little peek at the bottom of some train tracks in the street and some cobblestone. And he was able to ascertain from that there are only a few places in the 5 boroughs that have that. It's probably in Brooklyn because they tagged it to Brooklyn.
Hit up the Zillow.
He went.
Is that what it is?
Zillow, yeah.
Zillow.
He figured out 191 Plymouth Street, and I looked at it on Street View, and sure enough, it was the same exact thing. 2 little paint marks on the curb. It was the right spot, right? So I went there at 9 a.m. It was 22 degrees. I'm bubbled up. I got the Palace puffer on. Nobody's there. Sun is shining, but it doesn't do much. And we wait. And my friend shows up, and our coworker Jamal shows up, and some other kids show up because they figured out the same thing. One guy I talked to, a young man named Alban, he just asked ChatGPT. He literally looked at the photo and then asked ChatGPT, where in New York are there tracks in the street and cobblestone? And so he showed up. But basically, we didn't know.
It was basically Dumbo, right?
Yeah, it was in Dumbo on Plymouth Street.
Okay.
But we didn't know. We had no confirmation. We knew we were at the place where the teaser was shot, but we didn't know for sure that the shoes were going to be released there or that anything was going to happen there. We waited in the cold for an hour, the brittle cold, and nothing happened there.
They sent my guy to the Kith ice skating rink. Why didn't you do that? Mary Kithmas was right there.
There was a white Mercedes van,
Brooklyn Bridge Park,
rolling around the block that we thought was involved. I don't know if it was a decoy, but that guy knew something. But we were bamboozled mostly by ourselves for trying to go galaxy brain with it. Yeah. It was funny too because the night before I was texting Nike people like, "Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, I'll be there." You know.
Why didn't they just tell you? You could have told. Damn,
Maybe we
literally left him out in the cold.
Because
thank you.
Where it ended up being, in, like I think you had said, it was like not obvious, but kind of you were like, of course it's here.
Very smart spot. So they dropped the coordinates finally at 10:14. People scatter. We know we're in the wrong place, but this friend and I are still kind of hanging out in case the coordinates on the newspaper point them back to where we are. Coworker Jamal goes, grabs the newspaper. We're in the wrong place. The sneaker drop is happening for the Corteiz Huaraches at Tom, Dick, and Harry's.
Classic.
An institution, a Brooklyn sneaker spot that's been around a long time. Jay-Z, they shot the Streets is Watching music video in there. Joe, you brought the late DJ Clark Kent there. Yes. Rest in peace. I know Clark was a longtime shopper there. It just a smart move that shows a respect and knowledge of sneaker history in New York City, in the 5 boroughs. Bar Brown was hanging out. I feel like he's a spiritual advisor who kind of set it up.
You had the TS chain.
This guy was really outside. And he let me wear the TS chain.
Mayor also told me he went inside. He was like, listen, Brendan Dunne was outside Tom, Dick, and Harry's with the TS chain, and I left them alone. No one, you were fine.
Okay,
huh?
Let's just underline that point.
Did you have to tuck it?
No, Brendan Dunne was outside at a sneaker drop with God knows how much money around my neck.
He said that he left you. He went inside. Yeah. He came out. It was still glistening when you came out.
Thank you. And
when
you know
he came outside.
If I would have died right there on the spot, I would have been happy because I would have died doing what I love.
What would have been
touching concrete and touching grass?
What would have been your
Take
first,
that advice.
If someone comes to snatch that chain, what would have been your first move?
Oh God, that would have been a problem.
Well, you know I trained for
that's literally would have happened.
I trained for a marathon.
So you'd run?
He's athletic.
So you'd run?
Season, so
he's athletic.
I might be sprinting. It was a beautiful event though.
I texted you this. I'm gonna start coming with you to some of these things. I had such a great time at ComplexCon that
you'd be outside.
Yeah.
And it was a good sneaker release where there was energy, but it wasn't overwhelming. And look, we know these sneakers aren't going to flip for a lot. The last 2 pairs that came out, the margins are pretty thin on them. The Loop was out there. Dre from Soul Street was out there. So people were lined up. People were having fun, but they weren't in this hectic competition for them.
Cool.
Really nice. I saw a lot of New York City sneaker people. Always love to see that. I didn't see any of the self-proclaimed collab masters of the sneaker scene or the internet sneaker guys out there, but that's okay. We were there. We saw the shoes. People were wristbanded up. It was a safe, friendly procedure for the most part.
One thing I want to ask, I heard that the dem was is it true 15 to 50? That Corteiz really brings out a bigger dem. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it was a wide swath. A very multicultural group.
I'm gonna start. You want to come through? I mean, you're in Jersey. I'm gonna start. I like those missions. Just because I haven't done them in a while doesn't mean that I'm not built for them, because I'm going to start doing that.
And just so cool, Tom, Dick, and Harry's, they had a takeover there with the old school sports shop adverts with the intentionally janky looking advertising, and an important spot that survived the onslaught of Nike's direct-to-consumer push. Still a mom and pop shop with an account right there in Brooklyn.
Did you get a pair?
No, I wasn't really trying to buy the shoes. I was trying to soak up the scene.
Did they have that Nike tracksuit?
They did.
I need it.
Some people said the tracksuit was the real item for the day.
Doesn't the tracksuit kind of look like the one I wore on stage at ComplexCon, though?
You set the tone?
No, but I'm just saying that's why I need the Nike one.
But hey, you got the shoes.
Yeah.
It's a good looking shoe.
Like I said. But
Yeah.
I flew in early morning the day before, so I was
Mhm.
like still recovering. But I'm gonna start popping out with you.
How funny is that I wasted an hour in the freezing cold?
You got good content,
they
though.
could we outsmarted everybody.
You really should have put the ice skates on and went to the Kith Christmas ice skating rink.
Can I say one other thing
Mhm.
about being outside this weekend? You know who I saw? I had my first Sandman sighting.
Oh.
Adam Sandler was on Mulberry Street.
Did you run up to him?
No, I feel like he clocked me a little bit. I'm not saying he has any idea who I am.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
not-
wait, wait,
like
wait,
Adam
wait.
Sandler.
No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no,
Wait,
no.
wait,
He pulled the
wait.
whole Brendan
No,
Dunne,
we
like,
made
May
eye
Leandor,
contact.
You know who the
Literally right up
wait.
the street from LD. No, I'm not saying on any level that he knows who I am. I'm just saying we made eye contact, and I was like, "That's Adam Sandler." He had on a typical Adam Sandler outfit: black sweatpants, reddish orange hoodie with
what
the
sneakers?
brown puffer. Yes, thank you
Under
for
Armour?
asking. Under Armour, blueberry colored Currys
Love
on
it.
feet. Yeah,
He
was.
recognized it. Oh,
He did not. I'm not.
Oh, the burst.
I,
You don't have the burst that you the soles burst.
I'm
all
not
those
saying
times?
on any level that Adam Sandler recognized me. Obviously, he has no faint
That's
idea
not true, but you never know.
who I am. But again, just a moment. Joe, can we take it back to Miami?
Sorry.
Am I bogarting the mic right now?
No.
Welty, do you
Yeah,
mind if we
go.
take it back to Miami?
Yeah.
Because you were there for the Kith event. I was there for the Stash Nike
Yes.
release.
Yes.
It was a good time. There was not as much anticipation as I thought there would have been for these sneakers. And I don't really mind on a personal level. You can't tell me this isn't an amazing shoe. Welty's
Yeah.
grinning because I think he has that I told you so type of feeling
Well,
right now.
Dude, I have the shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the original shoe. So it's
Stash Air Max 95.
Yes, it's not like I don't think that the Stash Nike collaboration isn't amazing.
A classic?
Yes, it's a classic. Stash was one of the first big interviews I had
Mhm.
as a, editorial
As a young pup.
as an editorial assistant, going out to Boston and Concepts interviewing for his Reebok
Mhm.
pump at the time. But not saying that the shoe isn't very foundational to everything that I do
Yeah.
in my career, but just didn't see it like permeating.
You didn't think it was going to come back and hit as hard as it did back then.
I just didn't think it was going to break through, especially
Yeah.
if like Wu-Tang dunks like marginally.
Do you think it's one of the best shoes of the year,
Uh,
regardless of impact?
And reception.
Yeah.
I would say maybe I would put it on my personal
Okay.
top 10,
Okay.
Okay.
but I don't.
You don't sound that committed. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody
I
that
love
the
'em.
shoe is good. I know they're good.
It was funny because as we were talking,
What I said, it's crazy.
yeah,
Love brings it up.
we had said Joe after he had worn the shoes for like a day or two. I feel like this is a common occurrence where, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll be like sitting in an airport or something.
No, I know.
And you'll be, because it'll be like early morning when you're like on a trip for a shoot,
Mhm.
and we'll get like an 8 a.m. Slack message, and I think you're like sitting there staring at your shoes
Yeah,
and being
toe down.
You're
yeah.
half right. You're half right, and this is what I would say.
And he convinces
on, I
himself
but I
in those
didn't-
moments.
okay,
Yeah,
I
I want to
didn't
hear. I
finish
want to
what
hear.
I-
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, and you said it's crazy if the Stash Air Max 95s don't make our top 10 sneaker of the year list. And I said, no effing way.
Oh, I don't think you said no effing way.
But no way. No way that shoe.
But why?
Yeah, I don't. Hold on though to address it. One, he has a point. Early morning, because I feel like the only time I don't have service on my phone and I can actually focus and get firm thoughts is when I'm on the subway. So that
Okay.
makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
So he read you right.
let me tell you, yeah, he did. He
Little
did.
caffeinated, just like
Yeah,
sitting at
exactly.
your, staring
It's
at your
just
buzz
buzz.
in.
the coffee's just going through the veins. And also, this was a very benign one. I've also had a lot of thoughts throughout the years on the subway that could have got me in trouble, that I definitely sent emails. Okay. But to me, it's tough because I don't think there's any comparison between those and
Some of the other shoes that we put on the
yeah,
top
kind
10.
of and even the Wu-Tang dunks. stick
just
out
in terms
a
of how
little.
good they are.
I just think
They're
sometimes
so good
Just
right
a
now.
good
Even
shoe.
they're great shoe, and I do think that it is important to pick out our favorite
Yeah.
shoes.
and we're going
too.
to do a lot of that today.
Right? And I feel like today we're going to get a chance to show our favorite shoes. But hold
I don't
on.
even know.
Hold on. I got,
some
there's a
question
method
marks.
to the madness.
Sorry.
I don't even
Let
know
him have the
what's
mic.
going
I've been
on here,
yapping
but yes.
nonstop.
But I do think that we have a due diligence as putting out these lists to kind of try to do our best to reflect what the audience has been into
You're
for
right.
for the year. So if we just pick a shoe that we all think is awesome, even though if it does have the historical significance,
Mhm.
but the audience didn't react to it in the same sort of way, maybe we're doing a disservice by I don't want to say gaslighting them into thinking
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
there, because the conversation that we did have, and I feel like I stood on the right side of history on this
Stand on business?
was we're trying to put together the list and don't want to give out too much of it, but we were debating Futura SB Dunks versus Stash Air Max 95.
For those final
like
slots
those
on the
better.
list.
And but there's no way that the
Impact.
Stash
I will wear this shoe
More.
every single
I like
time
those
over
better.
the Futura SB
for
Dunk.
sure.
And you were one of the few people arguing Futura
But if we
belonged
just
on the
put
list.
out
What
like
about Wu-Tang's versus that?
if we just put out a poll that's to our audience saying Futura SB Dunks or Stash 95s, I guarantee you the Futura Dunk
do
is
it.
winning like 73%
You're
to
gonna
30
tweet
something.
this right now?
No, hold on.
You're going to check the temperature?
Hold on.
I believe you were right after I went to the release in Miami
Yeah.
and saw that, again, this
Can
shoe
we
is
tweet
good no
that
matter what.
And just see at the end what the poll?
Yeah, tweet it out.
Ben, can you put out a poll on Twitter right now? If you had to choose between the Stash 95 or the Futura Dunk, what you would pick?
Maybe-
we want to see something.
Maybe it should be like who did blue best.
Or Welty said who did blue best, but we'll see. Okay, and then we're going to
For
check
Sneaker
the end
of the Year.
episode. For no, not
Well,
Sneaker of the
yeah,
Year.
for consideration.
For
Yeah,
consideration.
yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
But also, to be fair, you did wear the Futura Dunks this year.
I did.
And maybe you got mad because didn't people have jokes about the fit?
He doesn't look mad, does he?
No,
What
I
did they
remember.
say? No, I'm not mad.
Was that when he had the carpenter jeans?
No, it was when it was. What did they say? Oh, I thought they said
You had
something.
like a white and blue hoodie, and they said
It was a
something.
Stone Island hoodie.
You had the Sonic the Hedgehog fit on? Or?
Yes, that was it. Sonic the Hedgehog. That was it.
Is
Hold
that
on, no.
what soured you on the
No,
on the
no, no,
Futura
no.
Dunks?
Here's what I would say.
Thought he was
Hand
Sonic.
up.
He might pull up full knuckles, you know?
Here's what I would say. Hand up.
Let the Chaos Emeralds out.
Two things.
Have him spinning around
things
like
I'm
Charles Hamilton. That's what I want to do to some of these sneaker guys. No,
Two
I'm a
things-
non-violent
Two
person.
things I'm going to address head on.
Remember when they knocked the rings out of Charles Hamilton?
Yeah.
I'm going to address head on to
Okay.
you. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
say
you.
it.
He's look him in the eyes.
Okay. One, hand up. A lot of those 8:15, 8:30 thoughts are not the right ones. Okay? Okay?
We're being
I say
honest
that.
today.
Yes.
Finally.
Definitely. Two, he has some PTSD /
Welty does?
resentment for years of sneaker lists where he feels that personal bias infiltrated the sneaker lists. Now, he talked about when he was hit the I-95 to go interview Stash in Boston. He talked about his first interview. Now that he sits in this chair, you saw him on the ComplexCon stage. Now he feels like a little bit of get back. As soon as a little personal bias leaks into that Slack or that conference room
He's
at
shutting it down.
8:15 or 8:30, you know, he loves, even if he agreed that maybe this could be on 10, number 10 or the bottom of the list, he thinks twice a little bit. The little curls that he has under his, what is that, a bananas? What is that, a Hooters hat? He you know, he like,
Savannah
some
Bananas.
people go like this. He twists the curls and he thinks like, you know what?
Oh, my
no,
goodness.
this isn't 2013, 2014 anymore. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. He's standing
That's
on
okay.
it.
A lot of people have trauma over sneaker
all
lists.
I'm saying
Okay.
is that hey, if we want to start picking out what like our actual personal favorites was, if I actually try to cape for those shoes, I know that
That's
Yeah,
true
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at one.
But that's different. I'm looking at the same shoe. I can't wait to get there. I want to say this about the Stash Miami release.
Yeah.
20, 30 people lined up. It wasn't as big as I think Nike was anticipating, and afterward, there's still a full-size run of the shoes available on the microsite that they launched.
I feel like that was a bit of a failure, just the microsite itself, because we got hit up that there's this microsite. What are you doing? Watching Instagram stories? While
No,
we're
I checked.
recording a podcast.
I checked the poll. Relax. I checked the poll. One vote for Stash Air Max 95.
Let's go.
Guess
Shut it
guess who
down.
it was? Oh, wow. Damn. Oh, God. It's a bloodbath. Okay. Hold on.
wait.
At the end of the episode, we'll check, but
Keep us in Miami.
sorry.
So I thought that because we had heard, through the grapevine, because Concepts launched or was in partnership with them, that they were launching a Stash microsite to drop the shoes, and I just feel like maybe the word didn't get out enough, but it felt like that microsite, no one knew about it.
Blue is black. Blue is back.
Blue is back
I ate.
.nyc.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, it almost felt like, is this like our pre-release?
Well,
where
I
it's
think
like we have
sometimes
early access or something.
you
It
do
didn't-
those things to defeat the potential bots that
Yeah.
could swarm the site. But in this case, I just don't think the demand was there. And I don't think that that's any knock against the shoe. Again, maybe this is a cope. I really like the shoes.
Love it.
That's
Although I
not a
did check
graffiti
Nike
pun.
and the sizes were sold out on Nike.com,
Okay.
but I
But
don't know if that was a forced sellout or.
Either way, they have to be careful when they're anticipating these launches and bringing things back from the vault that they don't spoil the legend of these shoes by creating too
by
many
resellers,
pairs.
yeah.
And not accurately judging how
Yeah,
much
oh,
people
yeah.
really want to participate in the shoe a second time around. One other Miami note. Again, I was there all day when people were lined up for the shoes, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing all that stuff, meeting fans in real life. One gentleman he said I can't remember if he said I was shorter. I think he said I was shorter than he was expecting, or something about my appearance wasn't quite what he saw on camera. But he also said Joe was taller and that Joe's calves in real life really do look that impressive. So people are paying attention.
Do you know what
That's
you?
a
You
simple
know what made
wink.
me think about
A simple wink. That's all we needed.
Stash 95.
Don't make me be outside for some summer events either.
All right.
You were smiling in Miami. The photo of you smiling in the background at the Kith dinner,
We'll put that in. Yeah.
having a ball.
So
Yeah.
this year we did see, if you want to talk about shoes that got brought back, one I think that when we talk about Nike opening up the vault,
Yeah.
one shoe I think people almost forgot got brought back, which is kind of sad, is the Pata Air Max ones.
He
Got
didn't
'em right
forget.
here, baby.
I
He
know,
didn't forget.
but I
Got
want
'em
to say, I
right
want to
here,
talk about
baby.
like
Never forget.
hype on, shoes that were mythical status
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a lot of us, where it didn't really, the hype didn't translate. And it makes me wonder, because, Undefeated Fours are coming back. I feel like that one's going to be a little more well received, I hope.
Must be.
But one shoe that if they brought it back, and this would be a dang shame, man, that if it would completely almost brick, I feel
deflate
like
the myth. Yeah.
Okay, what?
Amsterdam Air Max ones.
I'll buy every pair.
Yes.
I will personally see to it that they
that
sell out.
shoe being the friggin' top,
Biotech Air
that
Max
shoe
ones?
being the friggin' top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So if that shoe came back in units,
Here's the thing. I'm getting to the point where, again, I'm done trying to convince people, and you can't convince me that it's a quote unquote brick, because I've wanted this shoe, Stash Air Max 95, for 15 years, and now that I have it, I'm a happy man.
4 pairs I bought.
No.
Yep.
No. 4 pairs at retail?
3 for me, 1 for someone else.
Just one time, though, I want to put something. I've never actually put something in the stash pocket in the sneakers. These have a
What are you
stash
gonna
pocket.
put?
I don't know. What's an actual thing I can put? AirTag, so Bay can know where I am.
also
Is that the
Geotag?
I want to put the before we forget about it.
Yeah.
I want to put the picture here because we never put it out there. When these shoes came out, I asked Zach Dubasic, who does a lot of social and
Yeah,
art
on the sneakers
assets
team.
for us. Yeah. I asked him if he could Photoshop the Stash Air Max 95s on the members of the Blue Man group.
He killed it.
Yeah, and we'll put that picture right there for you.
He killed it. We missed you in Miami while he was in LA.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't talk. We don't have to talk
No,
about
we can.
that. Flight was good.
Yes, it was great.
Okay, I meant to talk to you about that. We'll talk offline.
No, we can. There's things.
There's so much to talk about.
There
There's
is.
so
Where
much.
do we want to go next?
The other thing that happened, keeping it on the blue lane.
Yeah.
Legend Blue 11s came out this past weekend and kind of
Wasn't a lot of noise.
no.
And I'm glad you feel that way too, because I don't know if I was just skewed by being in the moment of the Corteiz release on that Saturday morning, and that's what I was focused on sneaker-wise. But I felt like people weren't talking about the Jordan 11s in the same way we usually see them talking about the holiday Jordan 11 release.
If Nike can't sell out of black cement 3s at this point, and I know it's all perception. It's all perception because they're making 1 million pairs of those. I mean, I don't know how many pairs they're making, but you can maybe guesstimate that if they make 1 million pairs of these, that they're hoping for a huge buy-in from resellers and everyone on the market who's just trying to gobble these shoes up. Right?
To the point where on the next quarterly earnings call, the CEO gets on the phone and says, "We just smashed another sneakers records with the latest J11 holiday release."
And if you make that many shoes and just there's not that reseller hype anticipation for the shoes, you're gonna have a really hard time blowing through 1 million pairs of sneakers. So if you can't sell through black cement 3s and then the 11s drop, which great shoe, but you're still having issues moving stock, that fast, what do you expect to happen?
I mean, I know I feel you, but also it's just, where is the benchmark? And I'm not going to apologize for Jordan Brand, but do you need this to be a shoe that sells out every time? Or if the sell-through is still good, is that fine? Can it sit on the shelves for a few weeks?
I don't think so.
You think this is a shoe that's designed to
peak-
blow out every
Peak
time?
hype of people. These are designed to be like Christmas presents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm
And if
sweating.
they can't,
is it hot in here?
if they can't shift through all of them in the holiday season,
Yeah, there's a
then-
problem.
yes,
It's funny, problems aside and kind of unrelated, but I want to get back to these kind of being available for days.
Stash
and
95s?
the black cement.
yeah.
Do you know how good it felt to send links to people and being like, you could get these?
Yes,
Like, do
you're
you know
right.
how
Especially
good?
Christmas season.
Do
Yes.
you know how many times I sent this to like 10 people?
the stashes?
Yes, outside of like the sneaker bubble.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
You need to get these.
This is a great pair. You could get these right now. Do you know how good it felt to like send that to people? Just an aside, but
Yeah.
it kind of goes to what you're saying, where it's like the other side of it not selling out. Black cement's
We
like,
win as consumers.
yeah,
Yeah.
You might even be able to scoop them up on a sale or with a
I
discount
feel like that's
code or
been the
something
whole
like
year,
that.
though, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just in a nutshell. And even if the shoes do sell out, you can get them for like $35 over retail.
So let me ask you this. Are we living in a world where next year the Gamma Blue Jordan 11s come out and those blow out? Because
No.
this is a shoe I've campaigned against.
yeah. You guys hated that shoe.
I just think it's one of the worst Jordan 11s.
Well,
You
it's,
too, right?
I would say it's the most divisive Air Jordan 11
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that if you are remotely near our age or up,
Yeah.
when they went through that run of bringing back all the original Air Jordan 11 colorways,
Plus the cool gray.
yeah, not original, but previously released.
Yeah.
Space Jam, Concord, Cool Gray.
Black red.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they hit you with the Gammas,
Oof.
because then they ended up dropping the Legend Blues Columbias the year after
Yeah.
that, where they should have went. And for the sequencing, at least, it should have been Columbias and then Gammas
Yeah.
if they were going to drop it. But we're just waiting for the next, OG colorway or something in that vein. And then you hit us with a non-OG,
The Gammas.
the Gammas. And I get it. There's a lot of people who were younger when those shoes came out.
Yeah.
So if you were 13 when that shoe came out,
It might be a quote unquote
10 years
classic.
ago, you're 23 now, and
Yeah.
you maybe have a job and have your own
Yeah.
money and you can buy it. And I get why you want that shoe, because when you're 13, you don't really have the agency to
Yeah.
go and purchase it yourself.
Of course.
So we're living in two different worlds.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where it's at with that shoe.
Yeah. I mean, look, maybe I seem mad about this. Like, you hit me with the Gammas, I might be big mad, like Incredible Hulk. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a joke. Sorry.
But also, I can't fault.
Wait, what is that? What is that?
Is it the Gamma?
Gamma
like
rays,
the
yeah.
Oh,
Hulk,
yes.
Mad. Yeah, and he said vein earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Veins are popping out like
But I
the
guess
Hulk.
I'm just at the point where I don't like the shoe, but I
Merry
can't
Christmas.
fault someone who's younger than me who has a totally different relationship with that sneaker.
Oh.
Can we ever fault someone who's younger than us for having a totally different relationship with the
Yes,
shoe and
F the
liking it?
kids. No, just
Yeah,
no, just
I mean
kidding.
that's
But-
a little,
No, that's a
end of
joke.
the year, miracles happen. That's a take that I don't know.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you always
Hey,
say.
miracles do happen.
Never buy Gamma Blue 11s. No, I'm kidding.
I feel
I'm
like
kidding.
that's like a
Buy 'em
big
if you like 'em.
JLP shoe to some.
It was one that showed up, and I was like, "Oh, these are awesome." Wore
You were
them
wrong.
maybe once.
Sorry to say you were wrong.
Yeah.
But
Hand up.
And I think I told you guys on here before. The first time I saw that shoe was walking through the complex office, and Waka Flocka's wearing
Some
Oh,
history.
The
there.
Waka
Gamma Blue
Flocka
11s.
Maybe they'll
Some
put them in the
carving a
campaign.
turkey in the complex kitchen.
If that's
Oh.
not a classic sneaker moment, that's something that these days you would say sneaker moment of the year.
Sneaker moment of the year.
Yes.
Are we gonna get a full
exactly.
sneaker moments of the year break? If people don't know, Welty likes to post this on X, sneaker moment of the
You
year.
might. That's not a
some
bad.
random person wearing
I
a
don't know.
totally random
Yeah,
shoe.
I
it's
feel like
always a
people wouldn't
joke,
get the
but yeah.
joke, but
Okay, should we talk about the sneakers we're wearing, and then should we
Yep.
talk about all this
Yep.
sneaker of the year
Yep,
hubbub?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Welty, what do you have on feet?
Going Kith, New Balance, 1000.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do the 1000s that much this year. Not as much as this guy. Maybe he did them 1,000 times in 365 days, but
kept it a stack all year.
Nobody can say that's not the case.
yeah.
Straight to feet. Corteiz Huaraches picked them up late last night.
Do we think this silhouette is going to take off
Look,
this
I
year
keep the tag
or
on
next
it
year?
just to let with the plastic. Okay. No. It's raining out. I said, do I need to protect it? No, we're outside.
To answer your question, I don't really think the Trainer Huarache is going to take off because if you put one of, I see the shoe, I like the shoe. If you put a collaboration with Corteiz out and it's not making people jump out the window, then how are you going to get people excited about the other pairs?
Yep.
Just my opinion. Again, I like the shoe. I'm not going to spend too much time on the shoes. We just did a whole huge segment, Stash 95s. That's what I have on feet.
How do we want to do this little mini round
We all just do
table?
one at a time, like we're opening gifts.
It's going to be a big... But okay, so we have a lot of sneakers here that are personal picks for favorites this year, but should we also talk just I'm all listed out.
Okay, hold
There's
on.
this
Let's
list,
talk
that
about-
list,
let's
competing
talk
list, a
about
bunch of
over the
huffing and
list.
To talk
puffing
about.
over nothing. Do we need... Should we have another sneaker of the year list coming out that is as we do a reflection after the sneaker of the year
Get ready
panel
to
at
discuss it.
ComplexCon, where we publish on the site our final list and it has some changes. Should we talk about that before we get into our
Yes.
personal picks for favorites? Or
Yes.
you're totally over it, Welty?
No, we
I
have
know
to
how you
talk-
feel.
Personally, I'm over it.
I
but
know how you feel. I'm ready to stop talking about these lists, but
Just getting warmed up.
I'm actually sweating. Did I layer up too much?
Wait, so
We have to talk about the list that's going to go on complex.com that is different than our complex.com panel list, which
Right.
So it was funny. So I mentioned this to Bren the other day, and Joe, I just want to tell you this very short anecdote. So, there's been a lot of debate about lists and whose list is the best and yada, 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 right, on the internet, right? And as you're the person making the list, sometimes you get defensive because you feel like sometimes it's people attacking you and you're just like, why are people everyone getting upset about a list? It's just a list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the other day, I'm going home on the train, scrolling through X, get a link, and it's Rolling Stones top 30 country or Americana albums of 2024. Right? No, hold on.
I'm listening.
Joe hangs his head.
I'm listening.
I know
And
where you're going.
as I click and open the list, I scroll down it and I'm like, this list is awful. It's just very, very bad, whatever. And I was thinking about sending something out, quote tweeting and just saying how much I thought the list stunk. And then I realized, hey, wait, I'm doing the same thing that I get upset when other people do it. And I realized in that moment how easy it is to get caught up in seeing a list and reacting to it that way. So it was
that's why we make them, right?
it was
Totally.
but it was a full circle moment for me in that instance.
It starts discussion. It's real feelings, and everyone has a different take. I mean, I would say,
Almost everyone.
well, the thing I would say is like everyone has a different take, but like a lot of the lists came out weren't that different from ours.
Yeah. But
Yep.
we did make a few changes.
We
Should
did.
we run through this really quick? The Complex Sneaker of the Year list that's publishing on the website next week and how it differs from the ComplexCon one?
We should only talk about the changes.
Okay. So we have on our final year-end list the Kids of Immigrants Sunder Max, super high up. We put the shoe
Came out the day of the panel.
Yeah, number 3. Again, we brought a bunch of sneakers, and I'm also putting this on my personal picks for
Yes.
year-end.
Same.
Where do I have?
All the way on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, let me stand. We're getting active today.
Yeah,
We've been active for a few days.
Come on. Let's check the poll though.
Okay, we got the box here.
It's a bloodbath. Okay. Absolute bloodbath.
History not coming anywhere close to absolving us. Kids of
Yes.
Immigrants, Nike Sunder Max. This was a sneaker that we felt right away should be on our year-end list, but it came out the same day as Welty mentioned at ComplexCon, and just there wasn't.
We had no idea. Literally would have been the stash situation, but in a different.
Yeah, it
different
wasn't
way.
enough feedback.
Yeah.
So this is on my personal list,
Yeah.
your personal list, and on the Complex final list, jumped from not being on it because of the release date to number 3. Number 3.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really popular shoe this year.
I hate her.
On a Sunder Max, retooled Sunder Max, where the Sunder was a cult classic. They choose to collab on this. Knock it out of the park. Number 3.
But this is also better than any of the Sunder Maxes that came out this year.
Agreed.
Correct.
I don't know. It's definitely better than the CDG, but I feel like the CDG is the other Sunder Max that people kind of hold
Love
in high
those.
regard. I know
Yeah.
you love that shoe.
I like this shoe because there's enough theme and storytelling on it, but it's not overdone. It still just looks good in a vacuum. It's a shoe that's really easy to root for if you connect with the message on any level. If you come from a family of immigrants, then you have to repost the campaign. You have to feel some type of warmth around the sneaker. The shoe deviates enough from a regular Sunder Max where it's not just a colorway flip, just one that's easy to enjoy. You want me to pass them your
Yeah,
way,
I
Joe?
got it.
Purple
Also,
pair over the orange pair.
The purple
Also-
pair is just so much better
Yeah.
than the orange
Look
pair
at
to me.
how many different color blocking, if you want to get nerdy about it. Look at how well thought out the color blocking is. There's so much going on, and it all plays perfectly together.
Yeah.
I think, to me, it's like, it's an amazing shoe. It's like the more because I mean, I know you guys both have pairs. I don't own the shoe, but the
Wanna
more
touch
that
it?
like, the more I've seen it, there's just like the more details come out
Yeah.
on it, and you're just like, this is awesome. Especially in like, I know I'd said is like the sparkly air unit on it. To me is like, you wouldn't even see that from a lot of the product images, or if you see the shoe on StockX.
Yep.
But when you see it up close, you're just like, I get it, and it's loud enough, but also not like over the top.
Totally.
Right? It kind of brings back the energy to me where it's like,
It's super loud though.
I don't want to say that this
I
is
love
like,
that it's super loud.
I don't want to say that this is like the next like Sean Weatherspoon Air Max or something like
Oh.
that,
It's a nice comp.
but it kind of like puts it in the same vein where it's a shoe that people will remember from the year, and
Yeah.
it's kind of not the same formula, but
I know what you
there's
mean.
some similar lines on it.
So with this making
Mhm.
top 3, how did that affect the ComplexCon panel list?
So we bumped some stuff off. I think we totally took the Kobe girl dad sneakers
Yep.
off
Didn't get any reception
The one-
in
at
the room.
live
And the one
in
Kobe
the room.
shoe
Here you
that
go.
I think could have made it, which
Yeah.
is to me just infinitely better and more interesting shoe, is that Italian camo Kobe 6.
People were in my DM saying that.
That shoe is awesome, but
That didn't make the list either though.
no.
Okay, so the girl dad came off.
Yeah, we bumped the Wu-Tang Dunks down a bit. Again, we take a lot of feedback from being in the room at ComplexCon because we do want to listen to the audience, and we do feel like that's our most core audience of people who are flying from out of town and
Yep.
buying a ticket to attend the show.
It's also fresh eyes.
Yes.
It's fresh eyes for us.
And
We need
also the Wu-Tang Dunk, I feel like that's one of those ones where you're like, hey, you could debate whether it makes the list or not,
Yeah.
you know, but
So we slid the Wu-Tang Dunk down
From
a little
6
bit.
to 9.
Yeah, exactly.
took the girl dad off.
Yeah, we bumped. This was tough for me. We bumped the J-Tips, Saucony, Omni Grid 9. I fought for that shoe to be included. Welty fought for that shoe to be included.
And you have it right
I
by
have
on
the
your
sneakers here.
personal.
Let me
Take
pull
it
them
out.
out. This
Right
to
there.
me, I'm going to go on the record saying it. This to me is one of the best sneakers of the year.
It was just a tough year to. It was just a tough year. I don't know.
How good do these look?
They look good.
Always said that was his best one.
I mean, I was surprised because I thought when I said it that this was the best shoe. I think other
That's
people were
his
making
best shoe.
comments that the first one. Well, I think the reaction was that the first one was
The Azura?
the first,
Better than this one?
I don't know. That's just I thought that was the reaction. What people were saying. Obviously loved the project. You know, was
Yeah.
there for when he
Yeah.
did the first release. Put out a video of him, you know, celebrating all his
Yep, you
successes.
were at
It's
the
really
event. Yep.
really great to see him have the big booth at ComplexCon and have a widely available shoe with Saucony, or at least more so than
Outsole is tasty.
yeah.
Another one that look at the color blocking. So many different things, so many different details, and it works.
The only
So
thing
then why did we bump it off the
the
list?
only thing, and I feel like I would have caped for it harder,
Mhm.
and this is maybe a super. It's
I
not
know where
even
you're going.
no, it's not even nitpicky. So I had that shoe, the Omni Grid 9,
Mhm.
right, a year ago, and like I think J Tips even put it out there that he was the first person that he told that he was doing I was the first person that he
Yeah.
told he was doing a collab on that because I was wearing the white, silver, and blue pair so much, and I love that shoe. That was probably my most worn shoe last year.
Yeah, I guess.
And
yeah.
I was excited to get this one, and I don't know what happened because I have both shoes in the exact same size.
Mhm.
That shoe fits like super small on my foot, and I got it, and I just never ended up wearing it because it just didn't fit my feet. And maybe that's like a personal thing that if I had gotten that shoe and it had fit better,
Yeah.
and I would have worn it more, I would have like gone harder for it. But
Yeah.
that's where it happened for me.
And just for context, I keep looking at my phone because this is where the list is. But to be fair, the ones that knocked this off our list was the Kids of Immigrant Sunders
A must include.
Yes.
and what else? The Black Cement 3.
A must include.
Okay, so that gives a little context of just why it came off the list because you asked why didn't it make the list? I think those are two sneakers that although we feel that this is
Yeah.
one of the top shoes of the year,
Yeah.
when you're competing against those two,
It's just hard.
Yeah.
it's exactly.
Yeah. Again, all the stuff I'm bringing out here is stuff that I also enjoyed as like a personal favorite on my year end.
You said it might be one of the best retros of all time.
Whoa.
Is this just the best Jordan retro ever? I'll leave that to the real deal Jordan has, the S collars and the Jumpman.
Do you think it's a
Bostics and
better-
the
do you think
Enjo
it-
23 Dans?
Do you think it's a better retro than the Lost and Found Jordan 1s?
Yeah, because the Lost and Found
Not
one
a
had
true
that
retro.
intentional aging. To me, this is like just going back to a shoe from 1988 and trying to make it look as good as possible. And I think they did a great job. I know a lot of people will say this is a boring shoe. This shoe has released a grand total of 7 times now, so who really cares? But it's the common response. I'm just going to buy them every time, and I just need them every time. I finally have them in a size 10. I was wearing the wrong size for years, as Matt Welty exposed on here. So you can't not like the shoe, in my opinion, even if it didn't sell out right away. And it's a shoe I think that always deserves to be, well, maybe not always, because who knows what could go wrong, but deserves to be top 5.
I think so. It's just like, that's a beautiful shoe. You know, I feel like if I had a pair, it's a shoe I'd want to wear. I wore the white cement ones like quite often.
Really?
Yeah, not like all the time, but
From last year?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't remember it.
You're saying one of the best.
Yeah. They did a great job. And this is on your personal year end, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People were saying that there was maybe some production issues
Sure.
with the cement print, but some people were trying to say that they thought that that was the reason why the shoe didn't sell out.
No way.
I really don't think, and maybe this is
I'm with you. You're not wrong.
maybe like not taking our community too seriously, but I don't think the things that get discussed on maybe X are that widespread within the mass consumer that they know that there's 3 people got a janky pair.
The people who nitpick that level of Jordan retro detail are very important.
Yes.
I respect them.
Yeah.
That's the type of conversation I always want to be a part of, but I don't think that the masses
The average person
are
just
paying
walks in the
attention to
store,
that and letting that sway their opinion on whether or not they're going to buy a classic like a Black Cement Jordan 3. So we've mostly highlighted the differences. Should we get on now to our own personal picks and just things we enjoyed this year in sneakers without any
I feel like you went through like 2 or 3 already.
caveats? Yeah.
Should I go or you go?
You go.
I feel like I've been
Okay,
talking over
Let's
everybody
see
this whole
what's
time.
in Santa's
so.
bag.
What do you got in there?
At most Tokyo 991.
You wore that shoe a lot.
City pack. I love the blue ones too.
I'm surprised.
Why?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Look, okay, let me reel that back. I'm not surprised that you're saying this now. I'm just surprised that that shoe connected with you so much.
Yes, I love black and pink.
Well, you like the black and pink 95s.
Exactly.
That's true.
And again, we've been talking about, sneaker releases and things like that, and kind of like sending the link to the Stash 95s, but chasing these down, which I said a couple episodes ago, like chasing these down, hitting overseas connects.
Feels good, right?
It's
they
great.
only released in Japan, too.
Yeah, just like
Feel like PJ Tucker.
kind of like exactly on the WhatsApp, kind of just like restoring the feeling, and happy that I got these and wore these for a standout episode of Sneaker Shopping, which is another thing that I wrapped this into, the Tom Hardy episode.
Okay.
And
That's going to boost the shoe up for you.
Yeah, I'll remember this. And I love the blue ones too, which was the social status ones. But this is definitely on my top 10. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of personal favorites.
It's funny.
Not pointing any elbows that are our personal favorites, but this is definitely on my 10.
Well, I think I know I had said it, but last year I had said that the OG colorway, the gray with like the turquoise hits of the 991 V2 was my personal favorite shoe of last year.
Yeah.
It's
so
cool.
you set the tone for Joe.
It's kind of no, but it's cool to see the 991
your
V2 get more credit. This year I think they did a really good job on it. Shout out the whole team in Flimby that made it happen. So
yeah, Welty, you want to pull something out of your bid-ag?
yeah, did these make the sneaker of the year list?
Did those make yours?
No,
I saw those on people's lists.
it didn't make mine. I just wanted to take it out. But
Okay. Paid John Geiger ad? What is the shoe on
What
top?
the hell is
What is-
that?
So I wanted
What
this
is
to
that?
so when I went through it,
Yeah.
my take was what were the shoes I actually wore the most
Okay.
this year?
That doesn't even look worn.
Well, I didn't want to bring in the pair that's friggin' cooked and stinks.
Oh, I brought in cooked some.
You tried to make
these are
this
cooked. No, these are
objective as
cooked. But I didn't
possible.
want to bring in a pair of shoes for my gym bag.
That's cooked and stinks.
These were the shoes
Those still
I
stink, but
I trained in the most
not
this
literally.
year.
I'm sorry.
These were the shoes I trained in the most this year.
Games.
what
Got a lot
is
of
it?
games.
What am I
Wild
looking
on
at?
Earth.
What
Move
are they?
Trainer. Go read the story on complex.com.
While on Earth, you must be in outer space if you like that. No,
I kind of stepped on you. What are they?
It's just a CrossFit training shoe.
Say the name.
It's the
What are
Wild
they?
on Earth Move Trainer. This is the shoe I trained in the most this year.
Okay.
They're really comfortable, and I always like representing the things I actually wear in my day-to-day life.
I respect that.
And this is like the type of shoe that you're on a lot lately, of kind of a small independent
Yes.
brand that people haven't heard of that you use for a very functional purpose,
Yes.
which I would never wear, but I respect.
Yes.
What
Back
else?
to you.
Okay. Back to me. What do I have in here? I mean, this is a shoe I wore a lot this year. Sunset
fit me
Nike
narrow
Air
for
Max
some
TN.
reason.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
TN's always fit narrow though, right?
Yeah, toward the toe. Yeah.
Okay.
Even these 95s right now, my toes are kind of cramped
I
up
feel like
in them.
95s always fit narrow.
Yeah.
Too.
Great.
I've been on TN time for the past year.
Do you feel like all your push on the TN has come to fruition or paid dividends or?
No, I don't think the TN caught on like I would have loved to
Why'd
see.
you do it in a British accent? Why did you just
Did I?
switch-
I must have been
Switch to
around the
Tony
man dev too
Blair
much
all
this
of a
weekend
sudden.
at Tom D's.
Switch to
This guy.
Tony Blair.
He's got a little bit of that Clint flair over there.
I'm on that Michael Caine.
Like, what happened? But
This TN OG colorway, I don't really have to say too much about it.
Great shoe.
I got criticized for wearing it too much this summer. Made some great memories, some bad memories in the shoe, but just a good pickup that you could find at JD. You can find at Foot Locker. You don't have to stress over. I still wish they did the Swarovski pairs a little bit better, but I'm very happy about TNs. Still have some on ice, some other colorways that I'm looking forward to busting out. So
love them.
yeah,
Love them. Back to me.
yeah. What do you got for us, Joe?
I feel like you may talk about this one. Is this in your bag?
Maybe.
What do you got, Joe? What do you got for us? Your favorite sneakers of the year?
Nope. I don't own that shoe.
You're the only one.
I'm in year 95. Love these. You guys not sold
That
on
was
them?
a shoe that I feel like I think it's a good shoe, but I feel like it was crazy how much that shoe was loved or hated on the internet.
I was not expecting it to be so polarizing. I've already said what I feel about this shoe.
This is a shoe to me, as much as a 95, I feel looks super technical.
Yep.
Neon 95
Yep.
is like those super
Stash 95s.
technical and loud. This is a dinner shoe for me.
No, I think
I think it's done in a way that is so elevated.
What do you mean a dinner shoe?
Like I wear this out to dinner, and like it doesn't feel like a 95. It
You're
like,
at Teresi with these on.
yes,
Can I come?
yes. We'll see, but to me it's super elevated and the materials, and I just think it looks like the color blocking. I feel like looks not like a dress shoe per se, but a step up in terms of like fully technical Air Max 95s. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but are you an Air Max 95 purist on any level? Because you're the biggest Air Max 95 guy I know. I think. Do you ever feel like
I wouldn't guess that you were.
I don't think so. No, what? But why would you? You don't. You just think what? Two,
I mean, just the way it deviates from the original.
No.
The tongue is thinned out. It's not the same materials as an OG
my counter
build.
to that is I would love to wear Air Max 95s in any setting, and this does it for me.
Okay.
Like I've been wearing these with like dress pants.
It's just crazy how much that was like could have been the biggest thing that Alma Manier has ever done. Not the 95, just the whole like while you were sleeping collection. And then universally, I think people just said it kind of just didn't resonate the same way that it should have, because it's like you do an Air Jordan 4, do an Air Jordan 3, you did an Air Max 95s, all in pretty solid colorways, kind of what you'd expect from Alma Manier, but you know, it was kind of billed as like the biggest thing that, you know, the store has ever done. And it was just crazy that it just didn't hit.
Another question for you guys: would you consider these cooked?
No, in terms
No,
of wear.
but that shoe,
I've worn these so much,
that shoe,
and to me they look. I've worn these so much. I've walked miles and miles in these.
they're not cooked, but I can see where like the shape's starting to like whatever. But
they
it's also
still look
because
just
it's
fine.
not a traditional 95 that has the mesh.
Love them. Shouts to Alma Manier.
Gonna pull this out.
Okay.
This is like maybe one of the most important shoes that I had this year. These are, as they would maybe say in the UK, the CP Company.
We're all
Everyone
doing
doing
the
accents.
accent.
Yeah, this is CP Company, Adidas Spezial, Wimberley, white and blue colorway. Also have the kind of khaki cargo yellow colorway.
Big Matt Welty shoe.
Yes.
Big shoe for me. Shout out Gary Aston and the team over there. This year, kind of like I didn't stop going to football matches, but like in the past few years, I've kind of like I never stopped, but it's just like the past few years, it was like as I was getting all my life in order, it kind of like just kind of
Became less important for you.
just stepped away for a little bit for just kind of personal reasons. But this year I was able to kind of find the right balance. New York Red Bull went on a huge run to the MLS Cup final, lost, took a trip to LA, whatever. But I wore this shoe for when we played New York City FC at Citi Field in the playoffs.
What is that? The New York Derby?
Yeah.
What do they call that?
Derby, yeah.
Excuse
but
me.
we won 2-0, and it was being with my
2-0.
me and my friends, 2-0, and then me and my friends, that feeling that I had there with everyone who was around me, it was just like one of the most magical feelings I've had in my life in a long time, and wearing these shoes for that.
When was that?
A couple weeks ago.
Awesome. I didn't know
beautiful.
Yep. So wearing this shoe meant a lot to me. It's also cool too that this sort of shoe is cool now, when everyone made fun of me for wearing them years ago.
I can never totally understand that feeling that you have at the match, but I feel like I've seen glimpses of it because I've seen you post the photos of the toe down, and everybody who's there in the stands with you, people who you've been through a lot with, all have that similar shape on their feet, and I'm sure just that image.
Well, it excites me too because all those guys are like into clothing and fashion to some degree, but they're not into like this world of what everyone thinks fashion is. And
the guys you go to football matches with.
And it's just refreshing sometimes to be around people who care about shoes and the clothes they wear, but they're not like part of the whole hype internet circle. They're just like what I would call regular people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just it's a nice feeling for me.
Good to have different perspectives. What else do I have here? I brought the Sunder Maxes out. I still think I haven't worn these just yet. I still think the GR Sunder Maxes are good.
So can it be one of your favorite shoes of the year if you didn't wear it?
Am I capping right now? Should we just strike this from the record?
No,
from the list?
it doesn't. No, they could still be.
I just think it's cool that we're being pulled in this direction with the Y2K running stuff. Some more Nikes out of the vault, some non-dunks to get excited about. I think that there's a lot of mileage on the Sunder Max. I hope they don't hit us too hard with this. I'm excited to put them on feet. People are doing the Gore-Tex pairs around the office. I think that's a good look.
Do you think the pink one's the best colorway?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, of the inline ones.
I've gotten them as well, and I didn't realize that you had said that the shoe's actually built on a woman's last, so it's more narrow. And I remember just looking at it and just being like, I don't think this is going to fit on my foot.
That's how much of a shoe dog this guy is. He can just look at the thing and tell the last...
You get the little thing out, like the jewelers in the jewelry district.
We all know. Hey, we all know. We've all been wearing shoes our whole life. You know, you kind of look at something and you know it's going to fit on your foot or not. I think you've all kind of looked at a shoe and be like, I don't think that's going to fit. Same thing happened with the Lil Yachty Air Force Ones. Those didn't fit on my feet either.
I'm sorry to hear that.
All fine.
But yeah, happy for the Sunder return. I don't think it's going to be gigantic, but I think it'll be interesting. Joe, you want to pull something else out for us?
G-Dragon.
The least surprising thing.
Okay, look at the shirt I wore today. Okay, is it coincidental? I don't think so. G-Dragon Air Force
like
One.
Marlo.
G-Dragon Air Force One 2.0, I think they call it. As you can see, worn.
Paranoise. I saw KB in Miami.
One day we'll have G-Dragon on the show, hopefully. But
He's looking like he was protesting out in Korea over the weekend.
wait, what, the shoe?
Yeah.
Because it's worn?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
You're getting political.
Jeez. Well, love the alternating swooshes. The 1.0s I wore so much, and I think these are following in the footsteps.
Anything G-Dragon is kind of automatic for you, huh?
Yeah. You guys don't like these? What's up? Why not? What?
It's just
Not your style?
Well,
I never liked that like beat up looking sneaker. I think the fat laces aren't really it. There are 10 Air Force Ones I can name off the top of my head that I would rather wear.
In this year?
Yes. I couldn't name them off the top of my head, but yeah.
The wear away shoot thing just isn't really
Fair.
my
There's
Fair
been
assessment.
so much wear away.
Yeah,
but
I love these.
hey, we're not trying to,
Yeah, personal favorite.
You're enjoying
And
yourself.
I've worn them a ton, as you can see, and that's why they're on my list.
All right, Welty.
in here, these are things I feel like I wore a lot this year.
Yeah.
First shoe, gonna take out.
Those look so good.
These were the Concepts 1906. These were based off the 999 Seal pair.
Yeah. These are better than the Seal 999s.
Yes.
These are just better.
1000%. I just 1906 mesh running trend Concepts. Flip on a shoe that I liked back in the day that I never owned.
Really? I didn't like the Seals that much back in the day. I bought them, but
Yeah.
it was just a not good sequel
This is
to
just
the Kennedy.
every
Clean.
time I wore the shoe,
Clean.
people were like, "Hey, looks awesome."
Yeah.
And just totally in my alley, you know.
Yeah, up your alley, in your wheelhouse.
Yep.
I don't want to spoil us here, but there have to be some Up There New Balances in
I-
that bag, right? Because Up There
I
was
really
cooking.
hope so.
Up
That
There
was-
was cooking on the New Balances this
You
year.
know what? I
so
didn't wear
I
them
thought
yet.
la-
I didn't wear them yet.
Last night I was like, he's gonna have the up theirs. And I
No,
was like,
'cause
this is gonna be.
I just didn't wear them yet. That's the problem.
They were doing their thing.
I'm only
Take the shroud off. I don't need the shroud ever.
I like the shroud, but
Nope.
We can put the shoe right here. I think those are great. I was actually considering putting those on there, but I actually wanted this just to be shoes I had worn this year. Haven't broken them out yet.
Keeping
Gonna
yourself
wear
honest.
them next year. Might do it on Easter.
okay.
I
Easter
don't know.
colorway.
Yeah.
All right.
but yeah.
Yeah, I thought for sure the up theirs were.
I'll say a New Balance that I left at home that I've been wearing a lot and I love is the 1906L, the loafer, the New Balances.
Oh,
I
you
really
should've
tried to
brought that out.
stamp
Why'd
that
you-
early.
Are you gonna get the black ones?
No,
you know that a GR's coming. I think. I think a GR black one's coming. Not...
What's the? I can't remember. Is it a Cam lyric that it's an interpolation of? But we don't wear GRs. We give those to baby mamas.
Who said that? Who said that?
But the actual original lyric, someone in the comments helped me out, is about cars. Like,
JC, we don't drive X5s. We give them to baby mamas.
There we
That's
go.
what it
Thank
Push
you.
the chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we?
You.
Oh, I'm back. Okay. Again, Pata Air Max 1s. Come on.
Great shoe.
You don't really need to say that much.
Yeah.
But you didn't wear them yet this year.
I didn't wear them yet. Well, do you know why? You should know why. You should know the answer to this question.
Because you're gonna wear them to an Oregon game.
Thank you.
Are you going? You keep saying that every week. You at least went to you took the flight
cross country?
the charter flight to LA.
The spirit.
All I
spirited
hear,
away.
all I hear is every week. Oh, I'm
On your
pulling up to
anime
the Ducks
as well.
game.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up to the Ducks game. Are you?
Okay, Joe. Thank you for asking the important questions. Maybe we wait for the Natty. We're looking good right now.
He's saving it.
I might be at the Rose Bowl. We might wait.
He reversed it. On me. He
Pull out
reversed
that
it on
Uno
me.
on you.
Could lose to Ohio State.
Well, Ohio State could lose to
Tennessee.
Tennessee. White and green sneakers. I keep on the tuck for Oregon games, so that's why these still look so crispy. Again, I don't have to say a lot about these, partly because I wrote
Didn't
a
you wear
long
yellow
story about
sneakers
the
to
shoes.
last Oregon
Yes,
game?
Thunder. Thunder fours.
Yeah, but that's in the
fine.
palette.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yellow's not in the Oregon palette.
I thought you meant green and white palette.
Okay.
No, It's
Okay.
not. It's two different.
He's never mind. I was gonna make a joke.
Colorblind, right?
Yeah.
I could tell the difference between green and yellow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Air Max 1s
Great shoe.
look as good as they did when they first came
Great
back.
shoe.
So many any Pata Air Max 1 I would buy at retail right now or 3 times retail automatically. Pata Para, cherry wood,
It's crazy
black
because
denim.
I'm kind of happy that they didn't bring back every single color of
Yeah.
them. Because then I feel like it just would have been overkill.
Yeah,
on
show
the
some
market.
restraint.
Yeah.
Show some restraint. I
I'm
love
gonna,
these though.
I'm gonna alley these to you, literally.
Oh, I have these in my bag too.
Okay, cool. So they're on my list, but I want you to talk on them.
We have both here.
Oh, struggling. There we go.
It's funny. Imagine if they got like.
Yeah,
this
don't
was
mix them up.
Oh no.
But
Here's 11
two of
and a
our
half.
personal favorites
Mine's
for
11.
sure.
Action Bronson 1906. You know what? People were like, "Yeah, I think these make the list when we put them up at ComplexCon."
Rose
And I
water
thought,
colorway.
you know what? Not that it shouldn't be just one shoe, one colorway, but I feel like if you had presented it as all 3 that came out this year as
Yeah.
well, the black pair
Yeah.
and the friends and family pair, people would have realized how much he did a thing with these shoes.
Yep.
And they dropped. I know there was problems on the website and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not here to like make excuses for that or whatever, because I feel like all releases should be better. But this is one of the few shoes this year where it felt like when it dropped, people were actually talking about it, and not that it didn't sell out.
Is this a hard shoe to wear though? Because I've
Nope.
had these by the door for a long
I
time.
wear 'em.
And
Nope.
I don't bring
I
them
wear
out.
'em a
I
lot.
usually can't figure
Nope.
it out.
Nope. Just
What he
wear like
does-
a green T-shirt or something.
And also, it's
For an
very
Oregon game?
interesting. I think we see a lot of lookbooks with like some of the designers who wear and they all look pristine.
Mm-hmm.
My man wears them and beats the hell out of them and lets you know, go in, cook a Michelin star dinner in those if you want.
Yeah, cook
And
them.
this was a shoe that
Yes.
I got to wear when we went to. Well, you weren't there, but I had gone to Indonesia.
You
in the
left me
streets.
behind.
Well, when we were in the Philippines, we were obligated to wear Adidas because they had helped bring us out there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But wore these on the streets of Jakarta. Eating seafood, hearing guys cover Aerosmith songs. While,
Did you join in?
no, while the motorbikes are, coming by. It's just to me, it was just.
Another one of those moments.
But it was
for
it was
real.
an Action Bronson lyric
Yes.
in itself.
Yes.
What a life.
So that I would have liked the shoe anyways for
Yeah.
a multitude of reasons, but the fact that I got to have those experiences in it meant a lot to me.
I brought the left side, but my right side still has the tag on, which I
Oh,
love
yep.
as well. We'll get this out of the way. You know the Scottie Pippen.
No, you got one more, right?
Yeah, but
Right.
let's save his.
Where are we at?
You know the Scottie Pippen when you zoom in the camera. You know
Yeah.
he does that.
He pointed to the Jordan 10s.
We don't have to say much about this.
We did
But
say
look at-
much
just
about this.
When I go like that,
Stats
zoom in.
95s.
Look at how worn they are. Thank you.
They're zooming in for you. I almost want to get the ASMR.
Patch on.
Yeah. Should I take the shoe off and do the ASMR on the mic?
Go for it.
Here we go.
We're waiting.
Is that good enough, or is it on my lav mic?
Wow, really bricked it.
It's like the Sunder, the satisfying zipper up, zipper down. I like a shoe that has a satisfying tactile or oral element to it.
Worst
Welty doesn't care.
ASMR ever. But look at worn these straight to feet. Like I said, we've covered these in detail this whole episode. But this is in my bag, and I would be remiss not to.
Okay.
You want to go?
Okay. Sure. What's the last shoe? This is sorry. We should have mentioned this. This isn't necessarily a personal one, but we should have mentioned this when we were talking about
This
sneakers
is
of the year.
BS.
And I just have these AE1s.
I don't know. Now,
BS how? I'm not saying no. I'm saying
because I agreed with you. Where like, oh, you didn't wear all of them, but
No,
like,
no.
I
I'm
don't know
telling
if
you.
he
See the
understood
top
the
10 shoes you actually
assignment.
wore.
I don't know if he understood the assignment.
Okay,
I haven't seen
I brought a
worn
bunch of
pair.
shoes.
The
Ugh.
the TNs he wore. I don't know.
Joe, I'm saying these aren't on my personals. I just feel like it's important to show also the AE1 because we've been talking about it as a sneaker of the year, and I just had them on my desk, so I brought them by. And also,
Why haven't
even
you
though
worn them?
what?
Why haven't you worn them?
Just haven't nobody's asked me to a run to a pickup game.
Of course, it's important. He sent the whole video in on the panel, though.
Would you wear that shoe
Yeah, I would.
casually?
Yeah, I can do it.
So Saturday with the friends out, would you
Not
wear
a
that
chance
shoe?
he would wear them.
I will wear them.
His
I will.
voice. I don't
I
know.
love the challenge.
I mean, listen, it's our number one. It's our number one. But
Okay, I just wanted to reflect briefly, and I don't mean to take us on a left turn here. You know I would never do that. But as much wealthy deep sigh.
Did I miss it?
As much as we all agreed and the people in the room agreed and the general consensus is that the AE1 is the sneaker of the year, I was thinking that weekend at ComplexCon, like, I didn't see anybody with these shoes on feet. And I still think we made the right pick, but
Me too.
literally I went 72 hours, and then I think maybe late Sunday afternoon, I finally saw a couple people with them on feet, and I looked up, and they were 2 Adidas employees. So I still think this is the right pick, but just some food for thought.
Yeah. I
Put 'em
think
back in the
that
box.
colorway was cool. It's like a Stormtrooper-esque pair, but that was the one that you saw a lot of people dying
Yeah,
online. So I thought that was a really cool twist to
yeah.
it.
Again, not saying it's on my personal list. Joe, go. I have a couple more on my personals that I left at home. Hoka, Mafate, Satisfy,
Okay.
the Spiridon Retro. Good Burger said we should call those the Spiriduns. I don't know if they could loop me in on a campaign for that, but I'm excited about those. Wu-Tang Dunks. I should have brought the Wu-Tang Dunks.
Yeah.
Have you worn
I
those?
don't know.
I haven't worn them.
You even wear shoes?
I don't know.
It's one of my New
What's-
Year's resolutions.
Yeah, I don't. You know, there's a
He
couple.
didn't understand the assignment.
little-
Shout
little-
out Trinidad James.
You know, a little too much DS going on.
Is that fraudulent?
Yes.
A little bit. I was on your side.
We're
where
bringing
like,
all these Cook shoes in, and
I'm on the. I'm on
you're
the.
You're
trying
saying
to-
I'm not really living it.
I'm on the subway. There's dust flying all over.
You're trying to roast me
I
for
didn't
brought
even
the
get
bringing.
the subway
sneaker
with me.
mitt just in case we needed to.
He's trying to roast me for the shoes that I work out in, and then
I mean,
he's
well,
bringing
those-
in shoes that he's trying to resell.
mutually
I'm not
exclusive,
reselling.
to be honest. But
Wales Bonner Sambas, I could it.
yes, Kith Venom Asics.
Venom.
Kith Venom
Remember the Eminem
Asics
song?
GT 2160s.
Nice.
Love these. This is you saw it. Take Kith out of it.
Big JLP shoe.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Perfect color blocking for me.
Put
My-
Kith in it. Huge JLP shoe.
We're there. My favorite Asics of the year. Also, we're talking about moments. Well, I'll bring up the moments, gifting them to Venom
Tom.
himself.
Tom Hardy.
Pop culture. You know what Complex's old saying used to be? Making culture pop. I gifted humbly, of course. Listen, humbly. I gifted Tom Hardy
Yeah.
the Kith Venom Asics.
Yeah.
He is Venom on Sneaker Shopping. One of my favorite episodes of the year, which I mentioned. Love that moment. Love these shoes.
Moment footwear. Like Welty was talking about. Being
Yes.
in Indonesia. Being at the match.
That's
Yeah.
Moment Footwear is that a
No,
term?
no, I never said that, but he
Let's
I just stamped
trademark
it.
it.
Okay.
Get it legal on it.
Yeah, okay.
Moment Footwear.
Legal's busy right now
Are they? Okay.
because of that other thing.
Okay. But these are my favorite Asics of the year. I think that when we came back from ComplexCon, there was some talk that maybe people weren't agreeing internally.
No, I think
but
I
these
don't think
stood-
that people weren't agreeing with that shoe. The only knock that people had on us for putting that on the list was the fact that, and maybe on the AE1 as well, when it's like you're picking out a shoe, you're picking out a specific colorway, and it's one shoe to sit up there. The fact that we put a whole collection up in the placeholder, people took issue with that.
I know.
But other shoes were released as packs
feedback is
too,
there,
so
but sometimes you need one thing to represent a whole. That's called a synecdoche.
There it is.
Welty, show us some
How
more
many do
shoes.
you have left?
It's the Matt Welty show. No, go! I told you I was talking
Well, you
nonstop
also
in the
took
first
one
part of this
mine
thing.
too, because we had the same shoe. So
And you still have 4 left?
No, this is yes. Talking about, hey, we got time, man.
I'm
Go
just
through quick.
kidding.
Yeah. Give them as much time
I'm
as
just
we can. This
kidding.
is the last time they're going to hear from us this year.
Concepts. You talk about Asics, concepts, Asics, out of office.
He
out of office.
He influenced someone.
The cannoli creams.
He
Yep.
influenced someone.
What happened?
I was
No.
talking to.
NCB got a.
Okay,
pay.
he influenced 2 people. I was
Who
talking
else?
to our creative director, Gina.
Couple
got a pair
big
too?
bosses.
She got a pair, and I
These
think
are just so sweet. I remember talking about it earlier on, saying how much I love the shoe, and you maybe said you didn't see it early on, but
Yeah,
you didn't see the vibe.
I'm happy for you. It doesn't move me. And these are our personal picks, so I'm not going to
these
try
are
and argue.
awesome, man. This is a shoe
I
that
like,
like,
you know what I like? A smile on your face.
Yes.
but these shoes are like, if I was really gonna cape to put something on the top 10 year of the list, these
This
would
is the one.
So,
Yeah.
would you put them above the Venom Asics?
personally,
Okay.
yes.
No, Venoms look better.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I'd put these above a lot of shoes. You
Co-
know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not like,
yeah.
what are we talking about? You know?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ask a question. Sorry.
Joe, I'm surprised you didn't bring this shoe
Let me see.
because this is a big JLP shoe this
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to. I really was going to. Definitely on my top 10.
What am I looking at?
year.
Here's some breaking news.
Kith 1906.
One of my favorite Kith sneakers of all time. I know that sounds crazy. I wore those so much. Definitely one of my favorite Kith New Balances. And I would say probably the shoe, besides shoes by the door, those shoes, which are like beaters, I probably wore those the most this year.
Yeah, it's funny because
What do you think? What do you
when we
think?
talk about this year's like mesh running trend,
Yes.
it's usually white shoes, and these are black and green, so it doesn't really fit in that.
I am colorblind. I didn't
Oh,
know they
but
were
other
green.
ways, this isn't. I wore the shoe a lot this summer, but it's not like a summer paleted shoe.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, sometimes you just gotta put that ish on, right? And
Love those.
Absolutely. You absolutely do sometimes.
I have another pair on ice because
You're really invested.
the first pair I wore. I wore the first pair in Korea.
more Kiss shoes. Cooked through these this summer.
Are those
Look at
cooked?
you
Those
trying
don't look
to be-
cooked. Those look clean.
No, these are pretty. I wore these. I remember I wore these to the race in NASCAR weekend. These I walked past Michael Jordan. These wore these to a honky tonk.
What model is this?
This is the Kayano 12.1.
Are you also putting the Kith 1000s on your list too?
No.
Oh, okay,
Those
cool.
are
just
my
on his feet.
Copy.
These are, I don't know. These were awesome.
But kind of boring, right?
Kind of boring, but he put the Kayano 20 sole on the Kayano 12.
Should we
upper.
say that three? You have 3 Kith things on your list.
And then just
He's trying to overtake you as the big Kith guy.
I wore.
Who are you
the
calling?
heck-
Are you
I wore the
FaceTiming Ronnie?
me
He's
see if he'll
FaceTiming
pick
Ronnie
up.
Fieg right
Let
now
me
to
see
see
if
if he
he'll
could put
pick
you
up.
the answers.
put you on the list for the next Kith trip.
He's probably in meeting. Listen, we're recording the podcast. You know this guy has 3 of your shoes on his personal favorites.
He's trying to get flued out.
Oh shit!
No more spirit.
You're on camera.
No, I only got.
Oh, I am. Oh, sorry. Can't curse.
I only got
2.
Two.
Wait, two on his personal list, and look what he's wearing.
Ronnie Fieg on FaceTime.
Oh shit!
Get him to the Kith ice skating rink, okay?
Axles in those.
Exactly, triple axle in
Yeah.
those. Look at him. All right, that's
Oh.
it. But do we have to say hi to your friend?
I mean, what are we doing right now? Are we talking about like
Personal favorites. Personal favorites.
like personal favorites ever?
No, this year, not the cumulative list.
Ronnie, what's your
Mine are these right here.
Oh,
What's he showing us?
Spiridons.
Yes. Hey, Ronnie, I heard they're calling those the Spiriduns. Can you get behind that?
Spirit Dunne?
Yeah.
I see you wearing 95s. I don't know if I can follow through with that one.
I was in those. I had them
He
for a
had
couple
them.
weeks. For a
He
couple
had them.
weeks,
He
buddy.
did have them. All right, listen.
When did you get them?
When did
I
he?
see you
Yep.
And thank you very much for hitting me with your personal favorites. I mean, it means a lot. And it's been a great year, so I wish you guys a happy holidays and a happy new year.
You too,
Thanks,
brother.
You too.
All right, Chief.
All right.
Later.
Guys.
I actually got crazy ice skating skills.
Yeah.
Whoa, he said, maybe he knew. He
Not-
said
not
that you
I'm
could
not
do a
surprised
triple
surprised
axle.
based on
No,
where
I-
you grew up.
I played like hockey all growing up. So
Why
it's
don't
like
you
I
do
can-
that?
Maybe. And then this is just the last one. I absolutely cooked these shoes this summer. Minted New York Sauconys. I think that these were actually the Sauconys that I wore the most. My favorite Sauconys this year. I actually forgot they're at my desk. Were the Alex Diamond Nordstrom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
These
Cow print for the rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Are those, you just went through all yours already?
Well, you said
You just blew your load?
you were trying to get me to go
Okay.
through the shoes, but I wanted to go through them all.
Joe, do you have anything left?
Okay, so let me ask you guys. I'm going to pull out my sneaker of the year. It's a GR.
That's
Ooh,
good.
and you want us to guess what it is? Oh, I know what it is.
No,
I know
hold
what
on.
it is. I know what it is.
And hold on.
Do you know Welty?
Hold on. And I want to.
Oh, it's yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Please,
Exactly what
please.
it
I
is.
wanna
Don't say it,
preface
don't say
this-
it.
I know exactly what it is.
I don't think you do. I
I
want to
do.
preface this with, is this a JLP 8:15 to 8:30 to 8:45 a.m. thought, or do you think this is a legit personal favorite sneaker of the year?
It's a New Balance 1000.
That's what I thought it was going to
Okay.
Yeah, we were right. We know you.
So
well.
is this crazy
We
that
know
this is
you
my
well.
number one at all?
No, it's totally fine.
Zoom in on the it's cooked.
Although, you know what? We had a conversation the other day. You told me you hate metallic sneakers.
Maybe. But
This one gets a pass?
wow, it's as metallic as you could
Yeah,
get.
you were trying to think.
Okay.
You were trying to weasel your way
Yeah,
out of it, but
okay.
it's a metallic
as
shoe.
It's as
no matter
metallic
what.
as you could get. This
Yeah.
is what I would say, and I've said it on this podcast before. I have those. I have the Joe Fresh Goods, the brown and black. I have the Amelie Indoors.
I thought the black ALDs would have been. Your...
I wear those all the time. All the time I wear those. I love when I wear a GR more than the collabs.
Yeah,
And this,
that's a good feeling.
I love this GR.
It's a nice like fake out.
Yes. A swerve, if you will.
Yeah, I will
okay?
swerve.
Well,
A swerve. Wow, the zoom in is a lot. But
I agree. Totally.
this is
On
I
a
think
zoom
that,
in or
I
the swerve?
literally think this may be my number one of the year. I know we haven't ranked all these,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
like I just love these. Reminds me of the 95, the 97.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this color blocking reminds me of the old 802s. Do you remember them?
Yep.
And it's fun when that happens out of nowhere. A shoe that you did not care about or
Yes.
know about at all a few years prior pops back up, means something to you as a retro. You put it on feet, you love it, you look down, you feel good.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
mine. This is, I think, my number one.
I think that the GR thing. I feel like this was kind of the year of GR sneakers.
Yeah.
To some degree. That's why it was like I had decided when we did Sneaker of the Year panel. I was like, everyone's like breaking out hype stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna wear GR Asics Kayanos because I felt
Swerve.
like that was the shoe that actually kind of dominated the conversation of the year. Where it's like, to me, if we want to be realistic, because it's like sometimes when we make the Sneaker of the Year list, it's things that are super hype or whatever, but I think the actual sneaker of the year was white and black Asics 1130
Why?
because that's the shoe that I saw the most and it dominated the actual like culture or whatever you want to call it.
Not some shoe that people can't get access to without a bot or
That was
some...
that was the cool shoe that people were actually wearing like in the streets this year.
I like to see that permeating.
Yeah.
I
that's a fair
felt like it was
assessment.
the year more so because, you know, as I'd leave work, sometimes I just pop into the JD Sports in
Yeah.
Times Square across
Market
the street.
research.
And everything on the shelf there is like you could walk into that store and just instantly buy a cool GR shoe and totally be in the conversation with everyone, where it felt in years past where maybe you'd go to Foot Locker and all the good shoes were gone and it's just like the shoes that are left here. But it felt like it was a curated selection of everything that was cool.
I do want to get back to the specific black and white colorway that you said of
Yeah.
the Asics. You
Yeah.
think by far that was the one that was
The white
worn
with
the
the
most?
black.
White
Right.
with the black?
Yes.
Okay. To be totally honest, I can't really tell the difference of the colorways. We obviously know
Yeah.
the boom, but you think that is like the most worn
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you mean. I feel like have we exhausted all of our
I'm
picks
through
and
mine.
things like
I'm
that?
through my.
I wanted to show too. I brought this. This is funny. This is actually my most worn piece of footwear into.
Oh, I know what this
It
is.
better be the
I know
cowboy
it- No,
boots.
you know exactly what it is.
Oh, yes.
Pair of Crocs.
Yes.
He's on trend.
You put them in sport mode or no?
He's on trend.
I started
I
wearing
thought
them.
it was
in,
gonna
I
be a
started
different pair
wearing
of
them in.
Crocs.
No, I started wearing them in sport mode. I used to wear them
Yeah.
like this, and then I realized they slipped out a little too much. I felt weird taking the jump and finally doing the Crocs.
Yeah.
There's a Crocs store over on 34th Street by the Foot Locker. I
Yeah.
popped in one day and said, you know what? Let me just find a cool pair and see what this is about, because I was wearing the Merrell Hydro Mocs and they had
Yep.
started to get cooked, and I just found a pair that I thought looked cool.
Went from Mocs to Crocs.
Yep, and
I didn't even think so. When you said you were going to pull something out that was surprising, or you indicated it was going to be surprising, it was your most worn footwear. I actually thought it was a different pair of Crocs, because you have a pair of Crocs
Beams.
here
Oh,
at the
yes.
office. The Beams Crocs.
He wears
that
the
you're in
beams a lot.
all the
He's
time.
on the standing desk like this with the beams.
Yeah. Or maybe just socks. Sometimes he'll show
Yeah.
up to a meeting and just socks.
That's
Yep.
true. He does
Yep.
walk around in socks.
but
Yes.
You took the Crocs plunge. Do you regret it at all? I'm still
No.
not there.
not at all. I
Good for
literally
you.
do not like.
Good for you.
You're not
people-
self-conscious?
No, people think that it's a scary world to wear a pair of Crocs, and once you just put them on, you realize that nobody looks at you funny and nobody cares.
No.
All right.
Okay, it's been an interesting year for sure.
Can I throw another topic in here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sneakers that weren't really a thing.
Oh,
I
that's
don't-
a good.
I don't want to get on hater mode, but I feel like there were some projects that were supposed to be big, or that you thought on paper you'd see a lot and just didn't really pan out. I think the biggest one is Fear of God Adidas, just invisible this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the Nike Book One, a sneaker that was controversial toward the top of the year for a bunch of reasons.
I gotta
or maybe
push.
not
Gotta push
controversial.
back on that a little bit.
Really, you see?
I mean, did you expect a on-court shoe to be more an off-court? Even
Well,
though
we put the 81 as the number 1 shoe of the
okay,
year.
but that's an outlier. Also, I do feel like every time Book One is debuted,
Yeah.
it gets tons of pickup. I
Yeah.
think like
Maybe,
you know.
maybe. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do see. Maybe I'm just being overly cynical, because every time I see a Book One, I'm like, "You work for Nike," but obviously that's not the case.
hold on. Every time I see a Book One,
I assume that the only
Oh.
people wearing it are.
Just like seeing people in Puma.
you mean out in the streets?
Yeah.
I'm talking about kind of like people paying attention to
Yeah,
when
yeah,
a new
yeah.
one. Like we just saw the Fragment one.
Yeah,
He wore, like
those are nice.
every time a new one gets debuted, I see like that
I
there's
just don't
pickup.
think it lived up to the expectation of like, and I mentioned this earlier on, and this
Yeah.
is what caused that whole kerfuffle with
Yeah.
Book, where I just didn't think that him being like the cool NBA sneaker guy and also being a cool lifestyle guy that people
Just
seem
a cool
to,
guy.
yeah,
Just
genuinely
a chill,
be.
what is it? Just a chill guy. Just
Yeah,
a guy chilling.
yeah. No, but people seem to be genuinely interested in him as a person.
Yeah.
Like 360-degree lifestyle. That Nike could have just gave him something that appealed more to that audience.
Yeah.
And I feel like he deserved better. That's all.
I know I hit you with this as a curveball, but do y'all have any picks off the top of the head of sneakers that felt like they should have been a thing, but just really didn't show up?
Let me check me. I'm sure I had some.
I'll say another one that stood out to me was the Huff Air Max 1 retro.
Oh, I
Oh.
totally forgot about that.
That is one. That's a perfect one.
That
Yeah.
pink
That's a
pair.
perfect-
That pink
I
pair
have
is
it.
so good.
I have it.
The pink
the
pair
pink,
is the only one that I think popped a little bit. Those other ones, again, it goes back to this thing that we were talking about with Stash of like, be careful to not water down the legacy for no reason. And I feel like maybe that happened with Huff Air
that
Max
pink
1s.
pair. That pink pair I bought on resale. I was like, before I was like, this is going to be a tough one to lock down.
Yeah.
And
Little did you know.
no, that one didn't hit. Yeah.
Union Field General, non-existent.
The field. Well, I mean, another publication named the Bodie Astro Grabber as the sneaker of the year.
But those hit. I'm sorry. Those
Bodie
hit.
Astro Grabber
Those
is
hit.
is a nice show.
Those
it,
hit.
It hit, but it just didn't. I feel like it's just not our audience.
No.
It's not, but
No, it's
that's not in
But
this category to me.
And I think you mentioned it to me, Welty. Like, aren't we overdue for the actual Astro Grabber?
I didn't realize that shoe never came out.
This happens with Nike all the time, where a collaborator will introduce or reintroduce a shoe before it really goes into the line. And we're well enough into the Bodie Astro Grabber retro now, where we feel like there should be some inline Astro Grabbers coming. And I feel like there's enough commotion and hype around the Bodie versions to justify it. So it has to be on the way soon.
Yeah.
But Field General in
In
general, yes, you think
completely bricked.
also nothing burger,
Chinese-
despite my efforts.
What else?
You
I wore
pushed
the,
it.
I wore the shoe a lot. I still like those. Anything else?
Trying to look.
I know it's just me. I prepared for
I
this a
kind
little bit.
of, I
I'm trying
kind
to
of
look.
wish that. I don't know if this is like a controversial take or whatever, but I
Us?
kind of,
Never.
I really felt like this was a year where you saw a lot of Wales Bonner stuff
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And I think I'd said this before, but it felt like, as far as like her signature sneaker moments went,
Yeah.
that all the product was last year.
like the stuff she's doing now doesn't match the high
It's
that
not.
she had
It's
last
not.
year.
It's not that people aren't wearing it, and it's not that it's not readily available.
Yeah.
But the few shoes that people are like, those are the ones.
Yeah.
Like the cheetah print, the silver.
From years past.
They're from last year, and I just wish that there was like one this year. That,
I don't know, dude.
Tough act to follow, though.
No, I'm gonna say this. I love the ones from this year. The Croc pairs, the faux Croc. Arya's been wearing them.
Yes.
There's a navy leather pair. Those look beautiful to me.
I think that they're good shoes, and I'm not saying that they're not. But
Yeah.
I think that the other ones were just like the statement ones that really, really stood out, where it felt like you saw a lot of girls wearing those in public, and you're just like, I know you spent a lot of money on this on resale, which
Yeah.
is like interesting to see, you know?
Yeah.
What a year.
Oh,
What a year.
it's been a good one.
It
It's been a
has.
fruitful one. It's been an eventful one.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Do we have any New Year's resolutions?
No.
No.
No? Other than give people more episodes of this podcast?
Yes.
We will be here on the podcast more frequently.
Yeah.
Promise you that. No.
Yeah, I haven't. No. I think we're okay. Enjoy your holiday break.
Yeah.
We will be back shortly after the new year. We hope everyone has a great holiday season. We want to thank everyone. We appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe. Please binge some of these episodes. We're going to see you in a few weeks. Everyone stay safe. Thanks again. The Complex Sneaker Show will be back before you know it. Thanks again.
Merry Christmas.